street. Victim 1 and Victim 2 were each also shot a number of times throughout the course of that assault. So the nature and circumstances of this offense are crimes of violence and furtherance of a racketeering enterprise that's identified and described in the indictment as a racketeering enterprise that engages in acts of violence, including an assault. The weight of the evidence against Mr. Alford specifically is substantial. So Mr. Alford purchased a vehicle that was used in this assault on or about July 28th from a dealership in the Chicagoland area. During a post-arrest interview, Mr. Alford acknowledged that there were pictures of him at the dealership and next to the car that was used, and Mr. Alford identified himself in the photos in the vehicle that was used as his vehicle. Mr. Alford acknowledged that it was his signature on the purchasing document for the vehicle. And I'll come back to this part when we get to the history and characteristics of Mr. Alford, but Mr. Alford made some statements in the financing application for that vehicle that were not true with respect to his employment. And so days later, the dealership reached out to Mr. Alford to return the vehicle, which ultimately he did. The vehicle in this and the assault of victims 1 and 2. So continuing on with the strength of the evidence, on August 4th, before Mr. Alford acknowledged again that it was him in those standing next to the vehicle that was used in the location where Mr. Alford and others were congregating in the minutes before the traveling to downtown. The vehicles that were used, including Mr. Alford's, were captured on CPD pod cameras, on CPD, and others were congregating in the minutes before the traveling to downtown. The vehicles that were used, including Mr. Alford's, were captured on CPD pod cameras, on CPD plate readers. The plate reader clearly identified the license plate as the vehicle registered to Mr. Alford, which
That's off. Made a rookie mistake.
On that gray Chrysler from being an 18, it's going to be Boyne Mary 25459.